Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the rest of Ahsoka's requirements, kind of rounding her out in a whole, comparing her to some of the other galactic legends we've got, and speculating on why her requirements are so damn expensive. This one's definitely going to be a fun video for you guys. Hopefully you appreciate some of the humor and language that gets used in this video, forewarning now. So, I love you all so much. Thank you guys again for continuing your support. Let's give a huge shout out to our channel members, as always, for their continued support. If you're ever interested, link down below, along with link to Discord. Go check it out. Thank you guys again for keeping the faith. Thank you again for just, sticking around with me. I really appreciate you all. Let's get in here. Let's talk Ahsoka. Let's talk about just the galactic bullshit that is the amount of hard nodes we have to farm right now. Alright, folks, so if you haven't seen, we now officially have the last set of requirements for GL Ahsoka. So we're going to go through the last four here. We got General Syndulla, Plo Koon at Relic 8, Hu Yang at Relic 7, and then Ahsoka's Starfighter at 7 stars. So, Hu Yang, General Syndulla, no big surprises. We kind of knew that was going to be happening. The Plo Koon at Relic 8 sucks. Like, I wish that was Cuddy Mundi with every fiber of my body. I really wish that was like another Galactic Republic Jedi, because Plo, listen, the thing is, he's not awful, but there's much better Relic 8s out there, but it's there. So, in total, we're looking at 3 Relic 9s between Ahsoka Snips, Commander Tano, and Fulcrum. You're looking at 2 Relic 8s between General Skywalker and Plo Koon. Then, from a Relic 7 perspective, you're looking at Night Trooper, Enoch, Death Trooper Peridia, Rex, Padawan Sabine, and Hu Yang. So that's what, 7? Or no, 5. Sorry, I'm staring at the Relic 7, but it's what, 5 Relic 7s there? Right, so 5, and then 5 extra relics, so you're at 10, right? Then we have 4 Relic 5s between Asajj Ventress, OG Ezra Bridger, Barriss Offee, and General Syndulla. So there's your 4 Relic 5s, then 16 with Ahsoka's Starfighter. So there's, the ship, that's fine, right? That's a throwaway, that's easy. But some of the rest of these, it's pretty brutal. Now, overall, I'm going to say that I'm okay with the steepness of the requirements, because I feel that we should have been getting eased into this a while ago with other galactic legends. When you go back to Lord Vader, this dude was the most expensive GL up until Ahsoka. He required a ton of crazy stuff, the biggest thing being 4 Relic 8s. And it kind of stopped a lot of players from interacting with Lord Vader's farm because of the amount of Relic 8s required. And then we got Jabba and Leia, who each only have 1 Relic 8 requirement. For Jabba, it is Han Solo. And for Leia Organa here, it's R2-D2 at Relic 8. So, a massive step down from what Lord Vader was for Leia and Jabba, and that meant that a lot of players were able to interact with them and get them. And while that was great for the Galactic Legend community, the one problem it posed for CG that I think they're trying to rectify with Ahsoka, and I'm looking at it from just what her requirements look like, I think what they realized is that Jabba and Leia presented an access issue. Those 2 Galactic Legends are superior to everything that's been released prior to them. So a lot of players have a very easy time getting through events and challenges that maybe they would have trouble with before because they have Jabba and Leia. And so now with Ahsoka, who's going to be that creme de la creme of the game, they've made sure that she's extremely challenging between the Relic 9s, requiring of Conquest units, and 6 bloody Marquee units. I don't know that people fully grasp just how many Marquee units 6 is. It's a ton. The most we've had for a Galactic Legend was 4. We had that for Lord Vader. We had that for Leia. And with Leia, we got bonus drops for them. We got bonus drops for her units. Remember that. That wasn't just like oh yeah, it's 4. Like, there was bonus drops. We've not gotten any bonus drops for Ahsoka. So that's a big difference maker right there in terms of how quickly you could get Leia comparative now to Ahsoka. The other thing I want to say as part of that with Ahsoka here is that your Night Trooper, Captain Enoch, and Death Trooper all went to regular nodes, right? That they're all on light side, dark side energy. When you go through each one, right, you're seeing light side, dark side energy. Then we just got the news today that Merrick is farmable, and Merrick is also on a light side energy node, but light side, dark side energy, along with Shin, who's also on a light side, dark side node. So 5 hard nodes in a row have gone to hard nodes. And not just any hard nodes, they've gone to regular energy hard nodes. Like, that to me is galactic bullshit, okay? Like, there's not, and I understand that you're like, oh, you know, well, you're not supposed to work on everything at once, but, like, that's the whole point of what you've been pushing on us. So, who I really feel for are the players who want to get both of these things and didn't have the resources that I did to be able to purchase some of those shards from the marquee packs. You know, it sucks. And I feel like they're avoiding fleet energy. And even if you sent, you know, Sabine and Hu Yang there, like, you still got the problem of General Syndulla, and where the hell is she supposed to go? Like, it's miserable. And I know that we just got Great Mothers and Morgan in the Cantina, but they went to 16 energy nodes. So Capital Games really putting the screws to us on these characters. And when you look at the amount of energy required for those nodes, you're looking at 20, 20, 20. Right there is 300 energy. Jabba and Leia were far easier in terms of the amount of energy required to farm them. So these high energy nodes are crushing us as well. Like, I'm not doing any Kyrotech refreshes, or any Kyrotech farming now that these characters are here. Now, fortunately, we'll be finishing off Night Trooper, Enoch, and Death Trooper Peridia, but that's going to get replaced with refreshes for Merrick and Shin to make sure that we can get Baylan on time. But it is a problem. Like, they are really putting the screws to us. They're really trying to make sure that Ahsoka is going to be a character that is kind of obtained by that wealthy class. And wealthy meaning, hey, you're a whale, or you're an endgame, whether light spender, free to play, account like mine, whatever the hell you want to call me now, right? We're the kind of accounts that Ahsoka is being aimed at. And that kind of brings up this question of, you know, who is that target audience, right? Outside of your endgame players who are there. So I think it's always going to be your endgame whales. And then you have those middle of the pack whales. Those whales who are maybe in the 8 to 6 million range. They have access to conquest. They purchase everything they can. Like, so GLs are always targeted at them. And I think this time they've come up with a genius invention here that I want to show that was data mined. And that is the Galactic Legend Ahsoka Rush. And there should be 3 of these. This one is for Night Trooper, right? There should be one for Death Trooper and Captain Enoch as well. Now you look here, it's over $60 to get a Relic 1 character. Now, for an account of my size, and for the resources that I have, and what I've been doing to prepare for this, that makes no sense, right? Like, that is not of any help to me. Like, the stuff that helps me the most is signal data, right? Getting to Relic 1, I've already got these guys at Gear 11. I'm almost at 7 stars. Like, that Lightspeed bundle's not helping me really at all. But for a lot of players who maybe were writing off Ahsoka because it's too much to farm, now all of a sudden there's these Lightspeed bundles to potentially get you there. Now, the cost. Yes, it's expensive, right? It's very expensive. But you have to recognize what you're paying for. We've never had a Lightspeed bundle quite like these, where they're giving out something that is basically brand new, right? It's as close to new as we've gotten in one of these bundles. So I don't want to say that they're completely bad, because I think there's a lot of value there. If you're someone who is willing to spend that money, and the problem was maybe you missed Night Trooper and Enoch and Death Trooper, or, you know, you just don't have the Kyrotech to stomach it, whatever the case is, I don't hate that bundle for that purpose. Again, they have to make money. I'm curious to see the numbers that they pull from those Lightspeed bundles. It's $60, it is a lot, right? That is a lot. But it is, I mean, directly, they're calling it a GL Ahsoka Rush. So, like, they know exactly what they're doing. Again, a lot of people would probably think that I would hate on these, but, like, I think CG deserves, like, a round of applause here a little bit, that, like, this is a step in the direction that they kind of deserve, right? Like, that they this makes sense. This is following with what they're doing in the game of trying to generate new ways of revenue. So I'm all for it. Like, I think that's fine. I won't be purchasing them. I don't think Relic 1 is that helpful to an account of my level where signal data is a bigger problem because you're not getting any signal data at that Relic 1. But, you know, I think if we're all fair to each other here, you know, it's always been a whales market. They just made it a lot easier. So there is that. Now, finally, like, to answer, I think probably everybody's burning question on, like, should you get Ahsoka, right? Is she worth getting? I'm going to say that Ahsoka is probably a character that I'm going to be avoiding if I wasn't at the GP that I am. I think 3 Relic 9s is very steep, particularly with one of them being on Fulcrum, the other 2 of them being on Jedi Master Kenobi's team. If you don't have Jedi Master Kenobi, that's definitely some tougher Relic 9s to swallow, particularly on Snips. But thinking through all the various marquee units here that are going to be needed, I think it's a lot to ask, you know. It's a lot of Kyra tech, because it's not, you got to think, there's a lot of Kyra tech for Ahsoka, you know, for Commander Tano, a lot of Kyra tech for General Skywalker. All 6 of these characters, heavy Kyra techs. And then the signal data, the Relic 9s on top of it. It's a lot for an account that if you don't have your Leviathan, if you don't have some of those other Galactic Legends, this could really set you back if she isn't unlocking some major economy event. So we will have to see how that plays out. I'm not entirely sure how that will work, but I, you know, am hopeful that we do get some sort of economy event, whether it's, you know, I would love for it for signal data, but I'm sure that there will be something because we've gotten the Peridia Patrol, we've gotten the Battle for Naboo, not just the raid, but you think of the Duel of the Fates. Leia has one, Jabba has one, so I would assume that Ahsoka will be getting something similar. So there is some potential return, but again, timeline on that is well in the future. So I would argue that if you still have a lot of these Galactic Legends to be obtaining, I'd maybe wait on this because it's going to take you a while. And I'd maybe say you could go for if you are someone who's spending money. But I think as a free-to-play, going after this one, at the current state for most of your accounts, you're probably not ready for the outlay of resources that it will require of you. And in the time that it would take you to get Ahsoka, you could probably get some other stuff that will be better down the road. Because you got to think, after those initial few, you know, weeks, month and a half or whatever, you know, the time that Datacron's there, there'll be counters for her, you'll be able to beat her, and things will go back to normal. So that's at least what I'm saying. I will let you know if I'm eventually wrong on that, but I feel pretty good about it. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Or, you know, how do you feel about everything? You know, are these wrecks, you happy about it, you're not happy? I want to know what you think. And then finally, what's next? Like, after Ahsoka now, where do we head? I want to hear what you guys have to say on that. I have my own speculations for what 2025 will bring. I love you all. May the Force be with you, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.